Well, hello, everybody. It is Chad Chung here. I'm excited for this week's CBD 101, and we're talking about CBD and anxiety. Let's see who we have that's tuned in today. If you are on Facebook Live or in our Zoom room for our Spanish translation is in Zoom 166-778-278. That's a channel you can go to for a Spanish translation, ladies and gentlemen. But let's see who we have that has tuned in to CBD 101. Who was the first? We got Jeffrey from Dallas, Texas, who's the first to come on and say hello. Hey, Jeffrey, good to see you. I can't wait to come to Texas. Why? Because the second person that came on is Cherry from Texas as well. So I think I got to go to Texas sooner rather than later. And then John Gelati came on. He's from Atlanta. So I'll go to Texas, then pit stop, then go to Atlanta. We got Jane Tennis from St. Louis. We got Karen Young, San Diego. We got Dr. Raymond that's on. We have a whole bunch of people coming. Now we got our Cindy Wong from Malaysia that's on, guys. Everybody's coming on. And obviously in our Zoom room, we have our Spanish speaking leaders. I see Haiti. How you doing, Haiti? I see Victor. Good to see you. Hello. I see Patricia. I see a bunch of people here in our Zoom room. Good to see every single one of you. So Dr. Sharma just came on Saturday night. As some of you may or may not know, we had a diamond round table. We had a diamond round table. Give me a second. I need to fix the cameras. Give me 1 second. All right, maybe this is it. All right, hold on 1 second. I just need to adjust some of the camera view. Where am I? Okay, here we go. All right, perfect. So on Saturday, we had our Diamond Roundtable event. It was nearly 100 people there, diamonds and above. And we shared the future of ByDzyne. We shared where we are heading towards to, and we gave away some of the big secrets that some of you are waiting to hear. Well, I'm not gonna tell you the secret today, but I'm gonna tell you something. On Saturday night, Dr. Sharma was a big part of that presentation. And all I can say is the leaders were blown away. So today, Dr. Sharma is not going to tell you what it was, but he's going to educate you on something that all I have to say, all the leaders out here, listen carefully, because as you listen more carefully, you'll get some knowledge that will help you win bigger in ByDzyne. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. So with that being said, Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for coming on board on Monday night. I know we could be doing a lot of other things, maybe not now with the coronavirus since we're at home, but I would like to say to you, Dr. Sharma, thank you on behalf of ByDzyne. We really appreciate you, and thank you for coming on and teaching us and sharing with us all about this amazing product called CBD. And today you're going to talk about CBD and anxiety. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, and I'll hand it over to Dr. Sharma. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, Chad. We're going to be talking about CBD and anxiety. Let me get this is kind of a timely topic with coronavirus going on. So hello, everyone. I'm sure all of us are dealing with coronavirus. I think it's probably created a lot of anxiety. I think the team at ByDzyne and we were sort of ahead of the curve. We presented about Corona about 2 months ago to try to get people informed. This is something that's probably going to be with us for a while. So it's important to know the facts and understand how to deal with it. And CBD and our future, I'm not giving anything away, but future products are going to be helping people with anxiety. Anxiety is a big problem, whether it's just generalized anxiety or specific issues such as phobias, specific traumatic events in the past. It really affects everyone worldwide. These are just statistics from the US, and it is a costly, costly problem, costing us in this nation $57 billion of lost productivity and lost wages. We're going to be talking about CBD and anxiety, and then also a little bit about how CBD can help with sleep. Just going to be a review. Let's first talk about anxiety. We've talked about in the past, our memories, the way we feel about something is going to impact how we think. And I go back to the analogy of a computer. Really, three very important parts of the brain in terms of making a decision. The first part is going to be the amygdala. That's where our experience comes into the brain. And that's really, I think of like our RAM, our short-term memory. And it gets sent to the hippocampus, which is really our hard drive. This is how we're kind of wired emotionally. This is the way we've made decisions long-term. This is sort of our fallback position in terms of whenever we make any decision. And then also the front of our brains, the prefrontal cortex, that's really like new software, new ways of thinking about things. But really, a lot of our decision making is what we've always done, and it resides in the hippocampus. Again, just to reiterate, the amygdala and hippocampus are really important in how we make our decisions, and we do the same things over and over again. We talked a little bit about how stress can affect our hormones, and stress really creates an increase in cortisol. CBD can actually help decrease cortisol production, help with stress in lots of different ways, not only in our bodies, but our minds. And we'll get to the different receptors in the brain that CBD and the terpenes that we've talked about in the past will impact the brain. A little bit about sleep, and really an important hormone for us. We produce melatonin every day. When the sun comes up, melatonin secretion really decreases. We're wired, focused, energetic throughout the day. As the sun sets, more melatonin's secreted. We get more sluggish, get ready for sleep. And melatonin is very, very important. Once, I mentioned this in the past, once we hit 40 with all the stresses of professional life, personal life, our circadian rhythms, or this biphasic way of living, during the day alert and awake, and at night restful and sleeping, really gets altered. And CBD and terpenes are important in reestablishing our circadian rhythms, getting us back into a nice sleep pattern where we can rest, recover our bodies. CBD and terpenes are going to impact really at the level of the signal. Neurotransmitters are chemical signals between neurons that will affect how our brains work, how our bodies work. So CBD and terpenes have a profound impact on our body and mind. We've got excitatory neurotransmitters, inhibitory neurotransmitters, and ones that kind of do both. CBD and terpenes have direct interactions with all of these. As you can see on the right, CBD can actually help and bind to the CB1 receptor in the brain. It can help with pain control by binding to the opioid receptor. Dopamine's important in terms of alertness, focus, energy. Serotonin helps. It's a stress reliever. Another important one that we've talked about in the past is the GABA, or gamma aminobutyric acid. It's a neurotransmitter it's a very important neurotransmitter in the brain to just calm our being and make us relax. One thing that over the last decade that I've come to believe in is the entourage effect of how different parts in hemp interact with each other to create an additive effect, a synergistic effect to really improve or enhance products that we can provide, not only you, but your members and customers downline. We've talked about terpenes. Terpenes are essential oils found throughout the plant kingdom. It's what gives anything its scent. They're very powerful. I'm showing you pictures of just two. Humulus, which is an appetite suppressant. It's part of the hop family. And limonene, which again is very important in being a stress reliever. And it's part of, in our ALLUR broad spectrum tincture, there's limonene as a terpene. But pinene comes from pine needles. There's alpha, beta, pinene. Linalool, people are probably very familiar with lavender, whether it's in tea, vaporizer. Lavender has a very potent stress reliever, the terpene called linalool. Beta-carotene, myrcene from mangoes, they have a very sedative or hypnotic effect to help with sleep. Again, this is kind of a busy slide, just listing all the different terpenes and the receptors that they interact with. On the left, you kind of look at what the overall effects are on the body with the different terpenes. You know, we mentioned limonene in terms of help dealing with stress, linalool helping deal with anxiety, insomnia, myrcene dealing with insomnia. So very, very potent effects. And the way they do it is through the interaction with specific receptors in the brain. Again, just to reiterate, we talked about the different receptors. GABA is a very important receptor in the brain to help decrease stress. A little foreshadowing for everyone out there. Chad would say, listen, listen, listen. We've been working on products to bring to you. In terms of a terpene profile to help with anxiety, really these 4 terpenes are very, very powerful in terms of relaxing one's mind and enhancing your mood. And I think it's going to be a very powerful adjunct for all of you. Similarly with sleep, linalool, limonene, beta-carotene, beta-myrcene, these 4 are not only, again, calming of the mind, but also have a sedating and hypnotic effect. I wanted to talk a little bit about how CBD and terpenes really impact every single cell of our bodies through, we've talked about these PPARs, or signals that work really at the brain of each cell, the nucleus, and how they have potent effects on very diverse things as fatty acid metabolism, sugar metabolism, having to deal with decreasing the size of tumors because they decrease the ability of the body to create blood vessels to it. So really, really profound effects because they're able to actually affect the brain of each cell of our body to create a homeostasis. This is a graph looking at all the different terpenes that can impact, very simply, fatty acid metabolism. So terpenes themselves, these essential oils found throughout the plant kingdom, have powerful effects on our body's ability to handle fat metabolism, so weight management, sugar metabolism, mood, lots of different things. And it's just incredible. I look forward to all the new discoveries in the future, because hemp itself has close to 600 different essential oils, molecules that impact our bodies and minds. Really an incredible, incredible plant that can bring health and wellness to all of us. That was the presentation I had for today. I don't know if the chat, if we have any people that have been posting any questions online.
Absolutely. So BD Nation, for everyone that's watching right now, Dr. Sharma, do you mind ending your screen share? That would be awesome.
Oh, you bet. Sorry about that.
BD Nation, for anyone that is watching right now, if you have any questions, I know Dr. Sharma shared this with you, but I mean, terpenes play such an important role with CBD, which a lot of people, I don't think they realize, but hopefully through what Dr. Sharma is trying to tell you and hint to you is that terpenes is very powerful. So anybody on here right now, if you have any questions, that would be really, really cool, because one of the things I shared with you that Dr. Sharma always want an interaction rather than just a presentation, want to ask people for some questions. I know there's a lot of people that's on right now that's watching. For our Spanish leaders that's on, if you want to ask a question, you can type it in the Zoom chat box. And for anyone who's on Facebook Live, if you have any questions, please type your questions so that we can ask Dr. Sharma for you. So I'm just going to scroll up to see if anyone said anyone. Oh, everyone just said hello to you, Dr. Sharma. So
yeah, hello. These are going to be timely products for all the things that the world's dealing with.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So leaders that's on Facebook Live right now, why don't you ask Dr. Sharma a question? Also, if you are here on Zoom, type me a question so we can see what we have. So we can play some waiting music, but also in the meantime, maybe Dr. Sharma, maybe share with us how did you actually get, well, anyone's writing a question, but how do you actually turn to alternative medicine? I mean, obviously it's a big decision from being a cardiac surgeon to turn towards alternative medicine. What really made you go that way?
So great question. Western medicine has become so institutionalized. I really found that it was harder to take care of individuals, patients, because everything's based on a business decision. It's not really based on how you can help people. And I had a friend who had an alternative health clinic in Southern Oregon, and he said, hey, just why don't you come, relax, enjoy yourself, see what we do. And it was really just interactions with patients. Patients are hungry to be listened to and really find help. And that's really what started my journey in alternative health, whether it's through cannabis or diet or, you know, it's been really an incredible journey to be able to help a lot of people regain their lives, whether it's mental health, addiction, pain control, cancer. It's been a really great experience.
Okay, great. Dr. Sharma, we got some questions. First question is, and thank you, BD Nation, to ask the questions, because I know Dr. Sharma will love it. And you know what? When you ask Dr. Sharma questions and when he answers this, you know how much of a genius he is. So first question, Geraldine from Australia, she says, women who are pregnant or wanting to fall pregnant, what would your advice be if they're interested in CBD?
So CBD itself is fine. Actually, it's really important in terms of the endocannabinoid system is really responsible for laying down of the neurons in the fetus. The biggest problem is if there's THC, there's only been one great study, and that was done in Canada. I think it was published in 2012, followed pregnant mothers who used THC, followed them throughout their pregnancy, birth, and the child until the age of 19. And they followed them cognitively, mental health testing, and really, in terms of intelligence, there's really no issue. What they found is women that used cannabis or THC containing products, their kids had a higher likelihood of ADHD or bipolar disorder, about 3 times higher than the general population. CBD itself had no issues, but it's just really the THC that disrupts that laying down of neurons because it's just, it becomes disorganized. Great question though.
Thank you. That was awesome. Next question is Silky Carpenter from San Diego. She says, why did the color of the CBD oil change? I guess, why do they change? Do they change?
So let's talk a little bit about distillation. The plant itself is green. When you do the first distillation, which makes a crude oil, it honestly looks like crude oil, dark green, brown. And then the final process to remove the THC goes through further distillation, and it really looks golden, hay colored, like honey. That's the way it should look. Distillate should look like honey. You can do a chemical process to make it an isolate, which is more white. But honestly, our products are based on distillate, so they should look sort of hay colored or like honey.
So that's like is it like a purer process then? Would you say it that way?
No, it's just a distillation process. I think the reason that we use distillate in our products is, again, has to do with bioavailability. How long is it in our system? If there are products that people use that are based on isolate, they'll have a very quick peak, and the effects will last maybe about an hour and a half. Distillate has more of a square or rectangle effect, so lasts 6 to 8 hours.
Great. Okay.
Good question.
Next, we got Bill Boyce from California. He says, oh, no, that wasn't a question. It was just a comment. Okay, Sylvester, here's a good question. He says, is there much of a difference? Oh, no. He had a first question. I'm gonna go to the first question. His first question, what is the proper legal way to position the positive effects of CBD without making health claims, whether in social media, email, or speaking?
Wow, that's a great question. Really, CBD helps create balance in your body. You're not really making any claims, whether you're talking about sugar control or fatty acid. It just really helps create balance in a lot of systems within our body, and it'll help decrease inflammation so that the aches and pains as we age diminish. That's really it. We're here to help. We're not saying that it's going to cure X, Y, or Z, but we're here to help people feel better, have wellness, better health.
Okay, great. The next question is, Bill Boyce asks, are Dr. Sharma products heavy in terpenes?
All of my products that I've created in the past are heavy into terpenes and the entourage effect, because I'm a big believer in how the terpenes are additive. That's really what you find in the cannabis world, because there's over 1,000 different strains of cannabis, not one strain. You can't use one strain for A through Z. There are specific strains that will make you feel energetic. There are strains in the cannabis world that will put you on the couch and make you sleep. And that's all based on the terpenes. There's a great study done, again, out of Canada where they looked, and I think I mentioned this in the past, they looked at 100 different regular cannabis users, and they gave 50 of them a cigarette with THC that was 30%, and they gave the other 50 cigarette with THC that was 10%, but with a complete terpene profile. The group that had 10% with a complete terpene profile actually did worse on cognitive testing. So the terpenes have very powerful effects. I'm a big believer in the synergistic effects of CBD and terpenes together. Great question.
And for everybody out there, 100%, we have tested Dr. Sharma's product, and we had amazing results from people who spent a lot more money to use other CBD products for a particular area. And then Dr. Sharma's product just killed it. That's the difference with doctor formulated than not doctor formulated, I would say, out there. Okay, next question is there much of a difference between CBD made with oils versus CBD that is water soluble? What is the difference? That is from Sylvester in San Diego.
Great question. So CBD that's water soluble goes through another chemical process, usually is an isolate. And you have to, we talked about this in the past, CBD, cannabidiol, is an oil. You have to, in order to make it water soluble, you have to break it down into very, very small particles. In terms of bioavailability, it's comparing apples and oranges. Our products are much more bioavailable than other CBD products out there because of we use medium chain triglycerides, or MCT coconut oil, which again will disperse the cannabidiol molecules, so you have higher bioavailability. But in terms of water soluble versus, you have to just be careful. You know, there's a lot of terms out there in terms of nanoparticles. Our BSD has nanoparticles because it's made in coconut oil. MCT will cause breaking up of the cannabidiol molecules itself. So there's a lot of marketing words that are out there, but in terms of effectiveness, the importance is we want to create products that are bioavailable, effective, and long-lasting. Great question.
Awesome. Okay, 2 more questions, and then we're gonna call it a day. People are like dropping questions right now, Dr. Sharma. So the next question is, how long does it take to get full effect of the CBD? I guess it's different for everybody, right?
It's different for everybody. It depends on the issue, but you should have a sense of how it helps you after the first dose, right? So if you're dealing with pain, again, whenever I talk to dosing is very specific to each individual. When it comes to pain, you should notice improvement in your pain or improvement in your range of motion with your joints after your first dose. Now, there's a cumulative effect too, in that the more you use it on a regular basis, you'll actually have better outcomes, whether it's pain, whether it's if someone's using it for sugar control, people will have better control of their sugars. Their hemoglobin A1C will come down if they do it regularly rather than just hit and miss once in a while. Good question.
All right, last question is, would you recommend CBD once or twice a day for anxiety and also headaches and migraines?
Okay, those are really complex issues because it's different for everyone, but for anxiety, if it's generalized anxiety, I'd recommend that they do it at least 2, maybe even 3 times a day. And in terms of headaches and migraines, they can be, you know, lots of different causes for migraine. So I wouldn't want to generalize, but if it's something that's episodic, you know, you get a headache 1 week out of the month or once a week, I would treat it at least two times a day.
Perfect. Well, Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for answering everybody's questions. Everybody on Facebook Live, give a round of applause. Drop some hearts for Dr. Sharma because he's taking time out of his schedule to come and help educate us, help give us advice, and also his brain, who's created that amazing products that will be coming out very shortly. Hashtag at Dr. Formulated. Stay tuned for that. And I'm excited for everyone to really feel the phase 2 of our CBD products that are Dr. Formulated. So ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, a lot of hearts, a lot of thumbs up to you on Facebook Live right now, Dr. Sharma. Thank you so much.